The confirmation comes through while you're sweeping glass into a dustpan. The police have already been. Photos sent. The door is boarded. You read the message twice just to be sure. Repair approved. A contractor will be in touch. You finally exhale. This is handled. By the afternoon, someone has measured the frame, taken notes, promised a return visit. You start putting the house back together around the idea that this part is done. The next morning, the phone rings. They're saying the repair needs to be paused. At first, it sounds like scheduling, a delay. You're told they just need to review something. You glance at the broken door and feel a flicker of confusion. The break-in already happened. The damage is obvious. The approval already came through. That's when the calm starts to slip. Because the repair wasn't approved as a repair. It was approved as a response to an event. And now that event is being looked at again. You're asked a few questions that feel harmless on their own. What time you got home, whether the door had been sticking before, if the lock was old. You answer easily. You're not trying to prove anything. This feels like paperwork, catching up. But the board across the doorway stays longer than promised. Days pass. The house doesn't feel secure. You avoid going out at night. You keep lights on. The contractor says they're waiting for a green light. The green light you thought you already had. When the message finally arrives, it doesn't argue that there was a break-in. It talks around it. It focuses on the door itself, the condition it was in, the way it failed, the difference between something being forced open and something giving way. The repair hasn't been canceled. It's been reclassified. Nothing about the damage has changed, only the way it's being understood. Another version of this happens with a window, smashed during the night. Clean break, clear entry. The glass company shows up fast, measures, leaves. You're told the work is approved. Then, before installation, it's put on hold. A question has come up about the frame, about whether the glass shattered because of impact or pressure. The window is still broken. The house is still exposed. But the fix is no longer moving. Or it happens with a garage door after a theft. Bent rails, scrape marks. You're told it's approved for repair. You even book the day off work. Then the approval is paused. Someone needs to confirm whether the damage came from the break-in or from where that was already there. You start hearing a new language. Not rejection, not acceptance. Just uncertainty introduced after certainty. What makes this unsettling is the order of events. You were told yes first. You acted on it. You relaxed. You stopped worrying about this part. The pause arrives only after you've rebuilt your expectations around it. The system didn't stop the repair because of what happened. It stopped because of how what happened is being sorted. You're not accused of anything. No one suggests the break-in wasn't real. The police report still exists. The photos still show damage. But the repair is now waiting on alignment between the story you lived and the version that fits. And alignment takes time. In the meantime, you live with the damage. You secure it yourself. You work around it. The approval you trusted turns out to be provisional in a way that wasn't visible at the start. By the time the review finishes, weeks have passed. The urgency you felt on day one has been absorbed by process. The repair, when it comes, feels smaller than the relief you expected. Because the moment that mattered most was the moment you were told yes. That's when you stopped bracing. You assumed approval meant the risk had moved away from you. The break-in was now behind glass and paperwork. But approval didn't mean resolution. It meant the system was comfortable enough to look closer. And looking closer changes things. The repair didn't stall because the damage was unclear. It stalled because clarity arrived too early. You trusted the approval because it sounded final. Because it arrived quickly. Because it let you believe the worst part was over. But here, the danger wasn't the break-in. It was the moment you believed protection had already taken over. The repair didn't go on hold when something went wrong. It went on hold when you felt safe enough to stop watching it.